Okay, so Grandma says, welcome to Grandma's Story Place. Grandma's Story Place is brought to you by WCJV Media. This channel has been created for Clover, Johnny, and Yvonne. Today we're reading one of our favorite books called It Wasn't My Fault. This book is special. Grandma Eleanor gave this book to Jackson clear back in 1995. Oh, look, there's the title page. Helen Lester wrote the book, and Lynn Munsinger illustrated it. That means he's the guy that drew the pictures. Things didn't always go well for Merdley Gerdson. He couldn't control the toothpaste, and he fell into wastebaskets. He dropped only valuable vases. Whatever happened, it was always his fault. One day he went for a walk in his too big new shoe. He had stepped out of the other one, but he couldn't remember where. Before long, someone laid an egg on Merdley Gerdson's head. He looked at a nearby bird. "Did you lay an egg on my head?" he said. "I did," confessed the bird, "but it wasn't my fault. A horrible aardvark screamed and scared me." So Merdley Gerdson and the bird went to see the aardvark. "Did you scream and scare the bird into laying an egg on Merdley Gerdson's head?" they asked. "I did," confessed the aardvark, "but it wasn't my fault. A nasty pygmy hippo stepped on my tail and a scream just popped out." Together they went to find the pygmy hippo. "Did you step on the aardvark's tail, making him scream and scare the bird into laying an egg on Merdley Gerdson's head?" they asked. "I did," confessed the pygmy hippo, "but it wasn't my fault. I did it by accident when I was getting out of the way of a hopping shoe with long ears." "A what?" they asked. Just then, along came a hopping shoe with long ears. With a pull and a tug, they soon found that the ears were attached to a rabbit. "It wasn't my fault," the rabbit explained. "I was hopping along when I landed in that shoe and became stuck." The shoe looked very much like the new too big shoe Merdley had stepped out of some time ago. In fact, it was. Merdley thought, "The rabbit became stuck in my shoe and frightened the pygmy hippo, who stepped on the aardvark's tail. The aardvark screamed and scared the bird into laying an egg on my head." "Then I suppose it was my fault," Merdley Gerdson said very sadly. 2 tears splashed onto his 2 big shoes. There," said the pygmy hippo, the rabbit and bird and the aardvark. "Don't cry." "It was my fault," said the bird. "It was my fault," said the aardvark. "No, it was my fault," said the pygmy hippo. "I think it was the shoe," said the rabbit. "Let's go back to your house and do something with that egg." So they all went into the kitchen. The aardvark turned Merdley Gerdson upside down, and the egg popped into a pan. The rabbit ground the pepper, the pygmy hippo added a pinch of salt, and the bird ran around in the pan doing a fine job of scrambling. And Merdley Gerdson enjoyed every bite of his scrambled eggs. Merdley Gerdson went to the door to let them out, and oh no, it wasn't his fault.